Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Psychopath Season 1 Episode 4 reaction. So the previous episode we got a case on our hand which was basically a lot of people were mysteriously getting like into accidents and losing their lives in that process in a certain like a place like a factory type of place, and we had to go there, take care of the see the situation, investigate the situation. And turns out by the end of it, it we realized that what was happening was that there was one guy who was getting bullied, and everyone else were treating it as like the de-stress method, obviously making the guy stressed out, and he was the one who was committing these crimes. So like by the end of it, we were able to figure that out and we were able to apprehend him. And while in that process, Akane gets to see Shinya's, like what's that word, his the way he like looks at the criminal as if he's hunting a prey. And she kind of realizes that and she sees that in him. And yeah, but the mission was successful by the end of it, and yeah, that's what happened. So let's see what happens in this episode 4. Let's get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Talisman Saloon. What? Was this some kind of weird? Is this like some kind of a virtual world? Okay. Huh. Hmm. Is this Akane? What? Hmm. This seems like Akane. I feel like she's talking about Shinya. Commu. Yeah, it was like a virtual world. And that is Akane. There you go. I knew it. Okay. Hmm. Nobody knows your mask. Hmm. Damn. Yeah, again. And the first one was obviously that guy, the one in the virtual world. Hmm. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Oh. Yeah. I guess that's true. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. She'll fall into it as well. Huh. Whoa. Hmm? Nobuchika game. Oh, so Shinya and okay. Broken. Okay. Kimihiko. Yeah, because of the whole civil system, you know. Ah, right. Hmm. Ah, okay. So he's still in his room? Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Makes sense. Okay, so we need to move it. Is there a secret trapdoor or something? Yep. Oh no, what is that? No. Some kind of a clue, I'm guessing. Adhesive tape. Hmm. Damn. Ooh. Oh my god. Ah, that's why the scratch. Yeah. Hmm. You're right. He's not happy about that comment. Oh, bro, so it was him. She literally talked to him. If you. Oh, this morning only. What did pizza say? Right. Yeah. Is that why they killed him? To take over his. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Yeah. We can take advantage of that. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Well, Akan is already there, so I think she can. Oh, Shinya came in as well. What the hell is that avatar? Oh, there he is. Oh, Ginoza's here as well. Where is he? Oh, that. Oh, that is Ginoza. Okay, never mind. I didn't. The voice. All right, here we go. Spooky Woogie. Right. Okay. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Wait. Where did she go? What happened? What the hell? Right. This is not good. Yeah. What? She's famous? Oh, bruh. So she was one of her classmates. Hmm. Yeah. Nothing. What? Yeah, okay. Hmm. Then, yeah, it's confidential. We cannot. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's the opportunity. Yeah, of offline meeting. Holo cosplay. Right, so Taxman will be there as well. Yeah, like couldn't it be just someone else? Like he, I guess. Yeah. Hmm. So even if it's not him, we will be able to get some information. Right. Roppongi. Yep. Hmm. Oh my god. Modern day masker. Yeah, I guess. It's so such loud music. Good lord. Yeah. It is quite dangerous if you think about it. Yeah, especially people. Yeah. Oh. Oh, there he is. Hmm. Alright, here we go. What the? Who's this? Oh my god. Ah, yo. Okay, so the real one is inside there. Okay. Oh no. I. What is this? Some kind of interference? What the hell is happening? Oh yeah, it's like some kind of a jammer or like like interference. Yeah, like you use the dominator. Oh god, this is. Oh no 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 no! Because everyone is panicking. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. This is Hakane. Right. Well, that went completely wrong. Oh no. Yeah, Spooky Boogie will have a lot of problems now. Oh no. Oh, right. This isn't good. Oh lord. Oh my god. What the e Oh my god. Right. Oh, they're gonna take her place. Well, okay. So he's the one. Wait, so will he be playing both the roles then? Because that's what it means. Seems like. Hmm. Okay. That is it. All right, that was today's episode. Okay, so today's episode is the beginning of another um, case. So basically, this is going to continue in the next episode, I'm guessing. Um, but the whole thing is we have to um, take care of a situation where there is a guy called, or a, I think they called him the like a community like a leader or something. I forgot what they called him. Talisman, who is supposed to be like an online personality, obviously, and was he died. He mysteriously disappeared. He died, but his online avatar, his online like persona, was still doing what he was doing. So taking care of that, like seeing that situation, the bureau decided to investigate it, and they got involved in this whole thing. So a few things happened in today's episode. Basically, uh, we get to see the people in the end that we get to see. They Okay, so turns out there are obviously multiple people here. There's this one guy, like this, you know, black haired guy with glasses. Apparently, he's the one who is playing Talisman now, I think. And the other guy with white hair, he, I'm guessing he's like the leader behind everything. Right. And so he's saying, like, oh, Spooky Boogie shall remain in the world, but the woman behind her will disappear with a trace. Yeah, you can play a perfect Spooky Boogie better than Sugawara Shoko herself. Just as you became a perfect talisman better than Hayamaki Mihiko. So now my question is like, is he going to be playing both the characters then? That's, I don't know how he's going to pull that off. But either way, yeah. So this is basically, I don't know what they're planning to do, but from the looks of it, it seems like they're trying to take out all the online, like influencers like this who have like a good following and like who are like online personalities. They're trying to take them out and replacing them with themselves. So here's the thing. um Spooky Boogie probably would have been a target sooner or later, and I'm pretty sure that is why, exactly why Talisman had his eyes on her, and like the whole rivalry and everything was going on. So I feel like the whole thing with Talisman, after that happened, they would have targeted Spooky Boogie as well. Or maybe, in the end, this guy kind of says that she wasn't worthy enough to be Spooky Boogie or something like that, he says. Yeah, that woman was ill suited to the role of Spooky Boogie. Or he's trying to, or with his own like sense of justice or whatever twisted sense of justice, he's trying to see which online like personality are good enough to be playing that role. Maybe he thought that, oh, Talisman wasn't good enough, so that's why they killed him and replaced him. And now he's like, oh, this girl, she's also not good enough because she betrayed her like audience, this and that, and that's why he came and killed her off as well. And this dude, the white hair dude, he is like the big boss behind all of it, and he's like the, I don't know, like the leader, like the top leader who's like orchestrating all of this. Something like that is happening. So I feel like even if Akane didn't get involved in this, not Akane, sorry, even if the bureau didn't get involved in this and Akane didn't come in contact with Spooky Boogie and ended up, asking her for help, even if she didn't do all of that, I feel like Spooky Boogie would have been a target in the future either way. Because, like, I feel like this episode, after seeing this, I was like, oh no, so because Akane came in contact with her, she ended up dying. But then in the end, as I saw the guy in the end, and his way of like speaking, I came to the conclusion that she would have died either way eventually, because she definitely would be a target. Like, even if it was not this exact day, maybe some day later she would have died. And they definitely would have like removed her and replaced her with someone else. So it's just a matter of time. Even if Akane did not come in contact with her and did not get her help, she would have, her fate would have been the same by the end of it, I think. So yeah, so that's what's happening here now. Also, in the end, obviously that was like a very interesting way they kind of showed that, they showed them bringing the different tools, placing it beside the girl, the dead girl, and then they showed like tomato, like them mixing tomato. So that was like an indication that they chopped her off, and probably just like Talisman, how they did it, they cut him into pieces and like threw him into like the sewers and everything, like like the toilet and all. I am guessing they did the exact same thing here as well. Right. So that's what happened. Also, another thing, Spooky Boogie said something as if like she kind of indicated that she knows Akane. So she was probably like Akane's classmate or something. She kind of says like, oh, later on, go and look at the school album. And she also said like, like I'm helping you out because who knows, in the future I might, like I might need your help, and it's good to keep a favor like this from the bureau. So that's why she did that, but in the end she ended up, losing her life. Yeah, and I feel like Akane is going to blame after she realizes what happened. Akane is going to blame herself. But then, like I said, like I feel like this would have happened. It was just a matter of time. Like they definitely would have targeted her. So yeah, and yeah, that was basically today's episode. Um, so obviously we don't know what their motivations is, why they are doing this, but yeah, this is going on in this whole online community. All these stuff are happening, and yeah, and also another thing, the thing that who was it who said talked about it? Masao. I think he kind of says like, oh, isn't it like very dangerous a situation like this? Like all of them are no, not Shinya. Shinya's the one who said that. That they like just being vulnerable, coming outside and just dancing away. Like this is the real world. People might get hurt and all that. Now this is the thing. I feel like he was actually correct. Like Shinya's like way of looking at it was actually kind of correct, especially like not all the others, but the person who was like what's her name, Spooky Woogie, yeah, and Talisman. Since they are popular, I feel like whenever they do these type of offline meetings in here in Psychopaths, I feel like if they do something like that, the people who are the online personalities or celebrities, they definitely have a lot of danger like coming outside like this, because just think about it. These type of things are usually different people have, like like these people who are like basically these guys, like these online personality, they're basically like modern day influencers, who have a lot of social media following and all that, so they are doing like crazy stuff without showing their face. They're doing some stuff in like in the online world, and a lot of people have like rivalries, this and that. So them coming into the offline world like this, isn't it a bit dangerous? And especially in this type of situation, because they especially might get targeted, because a lot of people, the world, like people are crazy, like like even the audience, there's some crazy people who might try to harm you. That is why confidentiality is a very important thing, and like having like good amount of security. But this whole thing was just like in the open, everyone was like in a club just dancing away, I kind of agreed with Shinya. I was like, yeah, like if someone wanted and just came with a like a knife and like stabbed the person or something, like that's crazy. So yeah, it's just a bit yeah, it's a bit, what can I say? But I guess that's the word here. Like everyone's just used to all of this, and that's why nobody's like batting an eye. Yeah, but either way, yeah. In the end, we weren't able to get him. Talisman was able to get away by using like a hacking, thing, and hacked everyone's avatar and made him identical to him, and bam, he ran away. And here's the thing, like I was thinking, oh, if they bring out the Dominator, they can easily track who it is. But then I realized, like since everyone is panicking, like the stress level is going to go up, and the Dominator will probably they'll have difficulty in properly like seeing who is the one, like and everyone's like running around, like it's crazy, like just like pushing you, and just yeah, it's a bit difficult in that situation. So that whole plan like failed, because they knew, like immediately when they went in, they realized like someone had a Dominator. I feel like they would have been more successful if they didn't bring the Dominator with them. Like, here's the thing. If Akane went in and tried to talk to that person without her dominator, and outside Shinya and Masaoka can stay there with their dominators ready, you know I feel like that would have been a better plan. But obviously at that point they had no ways of knowing that they'll immediately realize that what's going on if they bring a dominator in. They had no way of knowing that, so yeah. But yeah, that was a failure, I guess you could say. It wasn't really that good. That whole plan, it just fall apart immediately. Right. And yeah, so that was today's episode. Okay, now let me go through this episode scene by scene. Let me see if I missed anything. In the very first scene, we get to see Talisman talking to Akane, or Akane's avatar. And and I realized, I was like, wait, is the story that this girl is saying, it seems a lot familiar. It seems like this is Akane and she's talking about Shinya. And yeah, exactly, that's what was going on. So she asks like, oh, like, I have a problem. There's like a co-worker, a senpai in my work, and like, he is what's that part? Yeah, like, obviously she doesn't say that it's my problem. She says like, oh, my friend, like, she graduated from school, started a tough job. She's in a bind about a work relationship. She's got a colleague who is very hard to describe. There's no avoiding him when she's at work. um is he someone that you cannot get along with? Yeah, he does some crazy things, but there are times that she feels like what he's saying is right. So she's like, what can my friend do at that time? And Talisman is like, oh, that sounds like it might be wishful thinking on your friend's part. I think she needs to first discard this preconception and face his true character, which is true. I kind of agree with him. Like, what he said. He was like, yeah, you need to discard this preconception. Just talk to him. Like, this problem that you're telling me, go and talk to him, and like, face his true character. You'll understand him even more. Here we go. Why don't you give this advice to your friend? So yeah, so there you go, all that stuff. And then after that, we see Akane taking out her VR device, or whatever the hell it's called here in this world. And yeah, and she's like, okay. And that's where, after that, the episode begins, and we see Akane talking to Masaoka, and him starts asking, like, more about Kogami. And he comments on how, like, Akane and Shinya are very same. It's like a weird connection, like fate. And so Akane is like, there's two people who told me two things. One person told me to go and get to know his character better. Another person told me to treat him like a expendable, like, like a tool. And Masaka immediately was like, oh, the next one was Kino, wasn't it? Anyways, so here, a few things Masaoka says here is very interesting. He talks about the abyss, obviously, as the famous saying, stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares back at you. So so what he says is like, Shinya is looking at the abyss. He's still looking at the abyss. So he's like stuck there, and that's why he's saying that if you stay into the abyss as well, you might not be able to get away from it, just like how Kogami is trapped in there, still now. Well, I'm pretty sure he's talking about his past. That one scene we saw in the very first episode of him fighting someone, I'm guessing that's something like something going on. So I'm assuming we'll get to know all of that in the final few episodes, maybe, like what's going on and all that. Either way, Masaoka says, like, if you try to do this, your psychopaths will become like him as well. So you better, like, try to avoid that. And he says, like, Kogami stared into the abyss for too long. So yeah. And either way, and then he also says, I cannot stop you, so you do what you want. I couldn't stop Ko either. Wait. Wait a minute. Here's the thing. I cannot stop you. I couldn't stop Ko either. Okay, so is this like Ko? For a moment I thought, wait, who's this Ko? But now I think I realized it's probably his nick, like not nickname, but his name, like Kogami. So he's calling him Ko. I think, is that why? Right. So I'm guessing that was Kogami. That's why he called him Ko. Like he shortened the name. So, or maybe it's like completely different character. Not really sure. Either way, like they get interrupted, so a new job has come in. So apparently, in an apartment, a toilet has broken down, and the person who is supposed to be staying in that room has not said anything about it for the past 2 months. And yeah, so basically, people like got concerned and they called for like the bureau to investigate this. So like they're like how oh they okay, what's his name? I forgot. Where's that part? Okay, here we go. They bring out his profile. Hayama Kimihiko, 32 years old, single, unemployed. And I was like, whoa, like even in this day and age, like unemployed, because the civil system literally like feeds you the whole thing, like, oh, you do this, you do that. So I kind of was like, damn, like in this day and age. And so obviously he's an online influencer, as they say. I checked his bank account. He's receiving a lot of compensation from an affiliated service provider. So basically he's getting like, I don't know, like probably like social media money, ad revenue, maybe sponsorships, all that stuff, I'm guessing. So from that he's just like doing his thing. And so yeah, and they're like, all right, so what if he went on a vacation or something? Maybe that's why nobody has talked about the toilet. But they say like, no, that's also not possible, because he has not come out, like he has not left that place. There's obviously like security cameras and everything, like none of that shows any records. Here we go. When a person leaves their apartment, he leaves a record on the street scanners. Oh, the street scanners. Okay, yeah, there you go. In this town, it's virtually impossible to travel without leaving any trace. So they're like, oh, he's probably dead, that means. But then, where is he if he's dead? So they take out the holographic thing of the room, and they see that the couch is a bit displaced. And that's actually very smart, and it makes sense so much. So basically, they make sure that the holograph of the room, like the virtual like stuff in there, like coincides with the actual thing. So the couch or the table or the chair you're sitting in might be a shabby like a shabby like I don't know, like a discount thing, but the holograph on it might make it seem as if you're like sitting on like the king's couch or something. That's literally that's quite convenient, I guess. And yeah, but either way, that makes sense, because obviously if there's a couch and you obviously try to sit on it, and if it's just a holograph, you just fall on your back. So you need to put an actual couch underneath it as well. So there you go, of the same size and everything. And here's the thing. I feel like there's obviously like then sure, there's like different variety of like like if you have like a bigger couch, then in the holograph you can be like, oh, like in this holograph you can choose different sizes and everything based on that. So I guess that's how you do it. Yeah, so either way, the fact that the whole thing is displayed makes it like kind of makes us realize that something wrong has gone on. Someone must have like moved the couch. So they move the couch in the proper position, and they see someone try to hide like a gash in the flooring. So and then after that they're like, okay, so basically what has happened is that he died, someone killed him. He could have been strangled, poisoned, or maybe stopped his heart with an electric shock. Either way, they kill the victim in some bloodless manner, spread a plastic sheet over the room, dismantle the body into pieces small enough to fire down the bath or the toilet. There you go. Hammer probably resisted when he tried to kill him. That's why there was a scratch. Traces remained on the adhesive tape they put used to put down the plastic sheet. Yeah, right. And Shinya says like they did it, but they're amateurs. It's like keeping so many like like clues in front of us. Like yeah. Either way, and he kind of says like, oh, if this was old man Masaoka, yeah, he would have immediately sniffed it out. And Gino wasn't happy with that comment. Either way, they go to the computer and then they're like, oh, this must be the avatar, like the person online he is, Talisman. And Akane immediately recognizes him, and Akane's like, oh, wait, I just talked to him today. So there you go. They realize that someone is using his avatar or something is going on in the online world. Obviously because he is dead, so someone else is doing this. Either way, they go to this lady. I don't remember her name. The blonde haired lady. I'm guessing. I think like she's like in charge of like maybe like the technological part of the whole thing. She kind of runs scans and stuff, and yeah, we successfully found the body pieces that were flushed from Mr. Hayama's residence. So okay, so now they're like, what about the person who's in the online, as Talisman, acting as Talisman? Who the hell is that? And they talk about like, oh, maybe it's like some kind of a like like a ghost, like his lingering feelings are like in the online world or something. Obviously, that's not the case. And in the end, they come to the conclusion that yeah, this is definitely someone impersonating him. So okay, so they're like, we have to be careful. They'll notice we're tracking them. But at least the person who's using Hazayama's avatar should still think they haven't aroused any suspicion. So they're like, all right, let's do this then. How do we do this? Basically, we have to go in and track down Talisman. So they go into the online world. Obviously, Akane goes there because she, it's already in there, and Gino goes along with her. So they see like Talisman is there, and Talisman moves to another commune field. And in this commune field, this is Spooky Boogie's commune field. And yeah, so while they're there, Akane gets dragged into like a private chat server, and Spooky Boogie is in front of her and starts talking to her. Now, obviously, Spooky Boogie knows Akane. That's the thing that she first like makes very clear. She's like, you're quite famous, you're Akane, aren't you? At which she's like, how did you know me? Because obviously, so then she says like, oh, because like why don't you look at your graduation album or something, you'll know. So there you go. So that proves or that like implies that she was probably her classmate or something. Either way, they're like having the conversation, and she's like, why are you here? Like there must be some kind of investigation you're doing. What is it? And Akane tells everything to her and tells her that like, did you see something weird about Talisman or something, like and she kind of says something opposite. She says like, oh, like Talisman now is actually acting very normally. Back a few days ago, he was speaking very erratically, and like here we go, he was also holding events that were clearly intended to get affiliate money, and they're saying how it looked like the proper old timer was on his way out, but now he's back to his school gentle self today. So like she's like, that's what's going on. And Akane is like, okay, that's interesting. Either way, she's like, do you need any help? Like, I can help you out. And Akane says like, yeah, I need to come in contact with him, this and that. So she's like, all right, you know what, I'll help you out, and I'm helping you out so that I can cash in this favor later. Obviously, like Akane is affiliated with the bureau and all that, so having her have a debt on her is obviously going to help her out in the future. So she's probably like, yeah, this is going to work out, let me just help her out in this whole situation. So so she's like, leave it to me. She goes outside in front of everyone, and she's like, oh, I will be holding a modest party, and in that party I challenge my friend Talisman to a duel for the white crown I hold. Right, and it's going to be an offline meeting in Roppongi in that club. So there you go, everything is set and everyone is ready. Akane and everyone got an opportunity. So Akane goes and reports this to Gino. So what they will be doing is they will be holding a party where there will be holo cosplay that matches their avatar on social networks. Now obviously this means that um, there's not a 100% guarantee that the person who will be coming in Talisman's avatar is Talisman himself, or the person who is impersonating is Talisman himself. But the thing is, he is not that he's not going to come. He's definitely going to come. That's what they say, because as they say, that he obviously is doing all of this, and this definitely means like something to him, whoever is impersonating as Talisman. So the fact that Spooky Boogie like challenged him to this thing, if he doesn't go there, his whole popularity will fall and it will not be good, situation. So he's definitely going to go, but we're not really sure if he's going to be the one, the original person underneath that hollow cosplay. But we still go and apprehend him, and then like if it's not him, then we figure out from there what we do about it. So basically that was the plan, and obviously take the Dominator with them, make sure like the index is like and as soon as the index shows that, oh, this person is above the range, immediately we can like apprehend him. That's what we need to do first in this situation. So yeah, they go and like in front of the club, they're like waiting. Exocet, I think that's the name of the club. And yeah, and everyone's like inside the club with different cosplay, like hollow cosplay, dancing away, like doing eating and doing stuff. I love how Masahaka says like, oh, is this like the modern day masquerade? Which is kind of true if you think about it. Like everyone's like wearing like a little outfit and everything. Nobody knows who the other person is. Kind of like wearing mask and in the masquerade, like dancing and like doing that whole thing. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, weirdly, it's like I say, appropriate like comparison. Right. Anyways, so. And this is why Shinya says like, oh, isn't this very dangerous, this and that, like a single knife can take a life away, this is the real world. And Akane is like, oh, like is that why your mind is like, your psycho index is so cloudy? That kind of thinking is why your psychopath is so cloudy. And then immediately she realizes, she's like, oh, sorry, I should have said that. She was like, nah, it's fine, you're correct actually, yeah. There you go. Either way, in comes Talisman, so Akane is like, alright, let's do this. She takes the Dominator, puts on her hollow avatar, goes in, and as soon as she goes in, immediately the person on top, who was, I'm guessing, like the manager of the club or something, I'm guessing, like that dude, he immediately like an alarm starts blowing, and he's like, oh, someone with the Dominator has come in. So this is what happened. Talisman already told the manager that I might get targeted. So keep an eye out on for anyone who will come there who might have a Dominator on them. Something like that she probably told him. And he was probably like, alright, sure, why not? And that is why now that he saw this is going on, he immediately contacted Talisman. And he's like, yeah, you were right. There is someone. A Dominator is detected on the floor. And he's like, I'll help you out. So we can afford you to get captured. So, I'll help you out in your escape. And there you go, bam, the whole thing starts. Basically, what they did is they hacked every single person's hollow cosplay to make it look like Talisman. And everyone's confused. Everyone's like, what the hell is happening? And like immediately, like here's the thing. This would have gone wrong either way. If you think about it. Like Akane goes there with the Dominator and this happens. So if Akane and everyone else doesn't do anything, keeps quiet, like taking advantage of that confusion, Talisman would leave, so he would have run away at that situation. So what to do to circumvent that situation? Take your Dominator out and try to see who the person is, who's the one who has like a cloudy index. But as soon as you do that, everyone will start panicking. And if they start panicking, their index is going to just fluctuate, and it's not going to be, and it's going to be like a huge interference. Also, a lot of people will try to run away from there. Taking advantage of that, Talisman can easily slip out, and like all that stuff, and nobody knows who the original person is. So it's just, a bit, yeah. So there you go. It would have failed either way. But I feel like, like obviously Akane was looking at Talisman. So when everyone else changed, at least at that point, Akane should still know who the original talisman is. So I feel like there was a possibility they could have actually weeded him out if Akane kept her eyes like just fixated on that character and quickly brought our Dominator out and pointed towards him. But then again, obviously at that situation, you aren't ready. You don't know something like that is going to happen. So, like, if you, now that we know what happened, I can say like, oh, she could have done that. But at that point of time, nobody knew what was going to happen. So that came out of the blue. So immediately, like everyone was confused, and that probably made Akane lower her guard, which made her miss where the original talisman is. So, like that's why I'm saying it wouldn't have worked either way. This was a whole disaster from the very beginning. So everyone's crime coefficient goes up like 110, 130, and and they're like, what the hell? How many of them are there? And they like start shooting, and it doesn't work. The original talisman runs away. Masaka grabs one of them, and then realizes it's Akane. So it was a big failure, and this means like, what's her name? Spooky Boogie. She is now getting all the hate, and Spooky Boogie's like, come on guys, obviously I didn't know about it. It was the Bureau. What can I do about it? And Talisman's like, oh, like you didn't know about it? Then why weren't you there? You were just in your cubicle, like just somewhere safe. So, and this and that. And he's like, you're not worthy enough. And all the other people, like, all the audience members, they're also like, yeah, like, what the hell? And a lot of people are like, my husband got apprehended, this and that. I'm guessing the few people they like used the Dominator on, the ones who had like a higher crime coefficient, they probably got taken to therapy. So I'm guessing that's what everyone is complaining about, how like this and that happened, and Spooky Boogie is in a very difficult situation. Either way, Spooky Boogie comes in personal, like Spooky Boogie talks with Talisman from here, and here I'm going to read this section. What Talisman says. Talisman says, "You've preached anarchism all the time and been admired for it, and yet you've acted as an agent of the government. Such a thing is impermissible." And she's like, what the hell are you saying? You're the one who did something to catch the Bureau's eyes in the first place, Talisman. And he says, you have betrayed your own character. You're no longer Spooky Boogie. You have no longer qualified to be an avatar admired by the public. Now, like, from what I'm hearing this Talisman speak about later on as well, it seems like he's one of those people, who obsesses over like a certain character, and as soon as the original person behind that character somehow like breaks character, he goes crazy. He's like, oh no, what is happening? This is not how it's supposed to be. You're not worthy enough. He probably did the same thing to Talisman. Probably Talisman somehow broke character, and he probably got enraged or something and literally killed him. And this other dude, the person who is helping him out on this, he probably has some other plan. So this guy is doing this, and he's like helping him out. So that happened, and here in Spooky Boogie's situation as well, since as he says, you preach anarchism, but you're the one who helped, like the Bureau. According to him, he's like, you broke your own thing. You broke your character. You're not worthy enough. And now he came to her place and killed her. So it's probably one of those. He's the person who's doing all this, the guy with the glasses and the hair. He's probably one of those people who just obsesses over like these type of things. Like, you break character, oh my god, like these type of people, they forget the fact that someone on the internet who's acting as a character, they are an actual person, and they have a different type of emotion, different type of personality in the inside, and they're just making that these type of like audience or these type of people forget about that. And and it's not only here. I feel like this obviously happens in the real world as well. Like a lot of things, like for example, like actors and actresses who play a certain role maybe, and then like originally maybe if they're not like that or something, people go nuts. And not actor and actresses, because they play a lot of roles, so they are not usually they don't really get this type of a thing. But people like online personalities, like YouTubers and stuff, certain YouTubers who play a certain role, like a certain character on screen. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of very popular YouTubers who play a certain character on screen, and a lot of people think that, oh, that's his original personality, but no, that's not. That's definitely an exaggerated version of what they're doing. Deep down, as a person, they're completely different. You know, and then there's a few people who obsesses over that, and like he's one of those crazy people. Another thing is, like, I feel like you can put this into like another type of content creators, especially nowadays, VTubers. I think this thing also like applies to VTubers extremely, because obviously for VTubers they're not showing their face as well, kind of like this. So they're basically having an avatar, and people, and the way they like act on screen, obviously it's like a character that they play. I'm guessing a lot of the VTubers play a character, and a lot of the people VTubers probably are their original self. But especially for the VTubers who play a character, I feel like this type of situation is extremely similar. Like, you have like an online avatar, people don't know who you are and how you originally are. They kind of see you as the person on screen. And like lunatics like this, as you see here, as soon as someone broke the character, he was like, oh, you're not worthy enough, that kind of thing, and comes and just, yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Either way, the girl Spooky Boogie, she's like, what the hell, I'm going to block his access, this and that. But then immediately the guy's like just behind her, and he's like, oh, you're not worthy enough, and just grabs her throat and kills her, strangles her to death. And yeah, after that, you'll never be Spooky Boogie again. And then ties her up, and there's this freaking dude outside, the white haired dude. He's like, oh, you kill her, Okay, what the hell is this book? George Orwell, 1984, a novel. And yeah, and this dude is like, she must continue bringing smile to everyone's faces. She shouldn't disappear. Spooky Boogie will still continue, but she wasn't worthy enough. And and the guy's like, oh, you can play the role pretty nicely. You do it, or something like that. He says, just like how you did the same for Talisman as well. And as we see, yeah, they literally chop her up and probably does the same thing that they did to Talisman. And now I'm guessing this dude is going to take her place. And it's pretty obvious that they are using like some kind of a synthetic voice changer it's to the avatars, obviously, because Talisman's voice definitely doesn't sound like his voice. So they're using like a synthetic voice changer probably. They're probably going to do the same thing for Spooky Boogie as well. So he's going to play the part, but like the voice will be Spooky Boogie's voice or something like that. All right, and that is where it ended. So yeah. So let's see how this goes. So that is it. That was today's episode. Episode number 4. Yeah, 4 of Psycho-Pass season 1. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.